Well, hello everyone. Welcome back to the Research Works podcast. We're here at EACD and IAACD 2025 in Heidelberg. And with me today, we have a very special guest, someone who's been following us online, which I absolutely love, Debora Claesson. Welcome.
Thank you.
All the way from
Denmark.
I love that we have managed to connect through this conference. I see that you follow our work online and I see your comments that you make. You're a mother of a child, so you have lived experience. Tell us a little bit about what brought you here, Debora.
My curiosity.
Yes, beautiful.
I saw we have the Elsa's Foundation in Denmark, and they were trying to find parents and professionals to get to the conference last year in Belgium.
Okay.
And you could apply for funding.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, sounds like something for me.
Yeah.
And I did it and I got it. And it was the beginning of everything for me because then I met so many people and there is so much knowledge.
Yeah.
And I love just being able to ask and tell the therapists at home. And yeah.
Tell us a little bit about that. Your daughter,
Yeah.
3 years old.
Yeah. She's 3 years old. Her name is Ida.
Ida, beautiful name.
And she's the most amazing person I know.
Oh, wow.
I absolutely love her. And we have been through a really rough times. We thought she was not going to survive.
Oh, wow.
At the beginning.
Okay.
And we lost a child the year before.
Oh, I'm so
it was
sorry.
really hard.
Yeah.
But seeing her, and of course, we as parents got a lot of help and support, both from doctors and therapists, like psychotherapists and physiotherapists, occupational therapists. And like one step at a time, we started to rise. And now we feel like she's the most amazing gift. She's like, she's showing a world we didn't know exist. And I feel like I'm enriched by it.
That's so incredible. I love the way you speak about her, and I love the fact that you've reflected on the journey about the joy that she has brought.
Yeah.
And that's a beautiful place to come to, and she's just 3 years old.
Yeah.
So there's so much more to come.
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about, I guess, home life and what you need to support her with and help her with. What does that look like for you?
Well, I'm not going to lie. It takes resources from us as parents, like both energy and worries and stuff like that. It's really hard in that way because you want the best for your children, and she deserves the best.
Yeah.
So a big part of it is worrying that we are not getting the right information.
Okay.
Or worrying that we are not getting the newest information available. And also worrying about, okay, how about when I'm not here anymore as a parent? Or how about, well, I'm really tired. I just worked or have been in school all day because I'm studying again.
Amazing.
And I didn't have the time to do rehabilitation with her today, or she's in kindergarten. They are absolutely amazing.
Beautiful.
But I also, as a mom, want to work with her and do stuff with her. And she's frame running, she's swimming, she's horseback riding, she's everywhere. I have a bike for her as well. She's a GMFCS level 4, and it's all over her body and affecting language. I believe it's also affecting cognition, even though she's really good at communicating, not verbally yet, but it's like, it's another life.
Yeah.
And it takes more effort from us. But like I told my husband, and this was something I actually didn't say to anyone, but I think I would share this because it's such a hard path to be in. But I was like, I don't know if he will agree with me because it's really hard. But I feel like even though I have more sadness sometimes because of the worries, I'm more happy.
Wow.
Because I'm seeing the world with other eyes, and I'm so grateful for that. And that wouldn't be able to be a part of my life. And of course, I wish the best for my kids. And the disability, you have to navigate life in another way. It's not easy. But I try to look at stuff in a positive way, and I'm always seeing the value that she's giving to our life and the life of people around us. So,
thank you for sharing that with us. That I have such admiration for you. It is we use the word journey a lot, but it is true because journeys have ups and downs. You have the worries, but you have the beautiful moments, and you are always, as a parent, trying to create more and more of those beautiful moments. And I suppose you're more intentional, because you have to plan ahead a little bit more so that you do have those experiences when it comes to equipment and it comes to the people that come into your life, engagement. So I guess that I can already tell, Debora, I mean, it's the first time we've met, but I can already tell you're really driven by giving your daughter and your whole family the best experience and giving them the best quality of life. Therapy is one part of it, isn't it? But it's a big part of it. Talk to us a little bit about your journey with therapy, because I think you first said curiosity when you came here, and here is a bunch of therapists and researchers, and so you seem to be curious about what it is that we have to offer for your family and your child.
Well, I'm a really impatient person, and that could be seen as something bad. But in this case, it was really good because I'm from the first meeting with a physiotherapist at the hospital. The week we're going to be sent home, I was like, oh my God, can we already do something?
Yeah, you want to get started.
And we started at the hospital.
Yeah.
And the way we would be placing her in the crib, because she was preterm. And the way we placed her, the way she was skin to skin with me, and all those kind of stuff. And it ignited something in me, because I was like, oh, we can do something. And at this time, I wouldn't say, I'm going to be really honest, because I think we only can get somewhere with honesty. I wasn't at rock bottom because it was so deep that I don't even feel that I reached the rock bottom, because I just kept falling for months.
Wow.
Because I was so worried and double traumatized because of the experience with my son the year before. So I wasn't myself. It was really, really intense. And the people that were there with me when we lost our son, they were like, oh my God, this is even worse. The way I reacted, because I thought she was going to die. And then we got the news about brain bleedings. And I was like, oh my God, we lost her too. Because I didn't know anything about cerebral palsy.
Okay.
And when I asked therapists at that time, the only answer they gave me was, we don't know. So I could ask, oh, so she can maybe start looking at my eyes and then she can lose that function. We don't know. She can start crawling. And she was just born at that time when I was asking these questions. She can start crawling and then she can lose that again. We don't know. Instead of just saying that's a possibility, but there's also a possibility that can just keep going with the development of her. And I was like, when she got abilities at that time, I was like, yeah, but I can't be glad because they told me they don't know if they will be there.
Right.
So the first meeting with, this is especially doctors, but therapists in the beginning, they were absolutely amazing because they were listening to me. And one of the things I have experienced is that it feels like some therapists, they are not listening. Because listening can be just listening to the words.
Yeah.
And that's easy for anyone. But they are not listening to what is happening behind the words.
Yeah.
And not answering the questions you are asking.
That the reason why they weren't listening is because they had a job to do, they were trying to do something, or they didn't have the answers, or what did you feel at the time?
I think it's both not having the answers. They always gave the time we needed.
Yeah.
We are gratefully in Denmark, so they were really amazing and got us time. But I think that it's also a way of working.
Yeah, okay.
Because you get in your routine and you just, like, you think you know the parent because you have seen so many parents, but every parent's different.
Yeah.
So, and I'm really not the normal kind of one.
No, but I think what you said is so powerful and so important. You know, we're talking about that a lot at this conference. the last few years as well is the value and the importance of listening and understanding individual context. Without that relationship, it's very difficult to develop that trust. And therefore, any recommendations that you might make, it's not about the therapist having all the knowledge. It's about bringing what we have with the knowledge you have to come up with the best plan forward.
Yeah. And being curious.
And being curious.
Yeah.
I love that. You know, you've mentioned curiosity a few times here. And I can tell that you've been looking at different kinds of therapies, because when you're ready to do more therapies, it's a bit of a minefield, isn't it, to kind of go what to do, what to engage in. When you first started, did you know that there was certain therapies that were more effective than others, or
I didn't.
what was that journey like for you? Because it's a big moment, isn't it? Because you're trying to engage, you're trying to do something. How did that look like?
Well, I was so worried that I met the therapist. I asked therapists for research articles because I have a background in biology. So I was like, I have to try to figure out stuff.
Sure.
But they were not used to parents asking for that.
Okay.
So it was really hard to get something that way. And then a friend told me, oh, you should be on Instagram and you should follow families because I think that will help you. And it really did.
Uh-huh.
But the bad side, the other side of the story is that Instagram started sending me videos of people doing therapy that were not evidence-based.
Okay. What kind of therapies were they?
DMI.
Okay. Yep.
And CME.
Okay. Yes.
And I was asking all the therapists in Denmark, do you know these therapies? And they never knew what to answer. They didn't know that in Denmark.
Wow.
So that's
okay.
a good thing. But I was curious, and I was the mother trying to find something to help. Mm. And it looked miraculous in the videos. Like, oh my God, that kid was not sitting, and now the kid is sitting. That was what I saw. Mm. Mm-hmm. I didn't have enough knowledge to know that the kid being in the therapist's hand has something to do with that.
Right.
Well, and then I got a hint that those kind of therapies were not evidence-based. Uh-huh. And I started my quest to trying to understand that.
Yeah.
And actually, Ginny Paliak was the one trying to explain it to me so many times, and I didn't get it. I didn't have a background in therapy, so...
Sure.
But she really tried. Thanks, Ginny. And I kept trying to figure it out for a year. And at that time, I was actually planning to go to Canada for that kind of therapy.
Wow, travel, uproot your family. Yeah.
And trying to, oh my God, my kid will be crying. I know my kid will be crying. Can I be able to do that? Is this really okay?
Wow.
And then I was also in contact with someone in the US about this. And I met Ginny. She told me about the podcast. Yeah. And I'm curious.
Yeah.
So this is a perfect match.
Yeah.
So there was one episode where a researcher explained that why it doesn't work. Because as a parent, when you look at it, you don't know actually what you're looking at. You see the kid doing stuff.
Yeah.
Right? And then she was speaking about, you can make a kid sit, but it's therapist driven. And I was like, but how is therapist driven? Because the therapist is holding the legs and the kid is sitting up. And I'm like, and then she starts speaking about reflexes and something that is going the wrong way to the brain, not from the brain, but to the brain. And I was like, oh, and that matters. Okay. I remember Ginny trying to explain that, but I didn't get it at the time. And then the researchers kept talking and saying, if you want a child to be able to go, and then I remember the example from the Oreo, from the interview with Ginny, because this one was talking about this as well. If you want to have a kid to sit up, to play with something at the table, it's not just enough to be able to sit. You have to fire some networks in the brain that will tell you have to do this and this, and you have to want to sit. There's a lot of stuff. I can't explain this in a better way.
Oh, beautiful.
And if you can't do that, even though you can be seated, you won't be able to use that for anything. It's not functioning. Like, yeah.
Wow. I love how you brought us through this whole thought process, which I think is so common for so many families, because social media is incredibly powerful. It can be so beautiful and so great, but obviously you just see little snapshots of things as well, and it looks very compelling.
Yeah.
But I love how your curiosity was what made you go, what's the science behind it? Why? You just kept asking why. So what is it that you do now? That's obviously been a shift for you in terms of, okay, I can close down the door on these. I don't have to feel guilty about not doing these, even though everyone on social media seems to be doing it. What has that done for you and your family now?
Well, oh my God, I have never thought about it, but it's quite a big answer. Not a big answer, but it's so nice to know it now, because exactly, I was feeling so guilty. Because I'm like, of course it costs money, but if someone tells me something is going to help my daughter do stuff that will help her with her life, I'll just do it.
Yeah.
I'll just try to figure out how to get it, to get some money for it.
Yeah.
You know, searching for funds.
Do anything for your child.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But knowing that it was okay. Oh my God, I feel in my body right now. It's like
the relief.
Yes, because and actually I started. Jeannie was the first one to tell me, it's not evidence-based. You have to, think about that. And I just lost my line of thought. Just a second.
No, that's okay. Can we talk a little bit about what your thoughts are now for therapists? Because there's a big responsibility and a role in providing information. You're very curious and you went out and looked for it. What would your advice be for therapists working with families, providing information from all your experience so far? What would that be?
Well, try to keep looking for new information.
Yeah.
Try to have access to new information, and nobody has anymore an excuse because you have the podcast, right? You don't have to have access to database, because I know some people don't have access to that, and some people don't know how to read those kind of articles. But you can get information otherwise, and it's not okay for families living through it right now to wait. What was that? 17 years from research to things being applied.
Yeah. The whole life of your child.
Yeah, and I'm not okay that I'm a mom, that I'm trying, but my child is the only one who is getting results from this. I want every child, every family.
Yeah.
That's why I'm studying.
That's brilliant.
Yeah.
I love it. What are you studying?
Occupational therapy. Yeah.
Oh my goodness, you're going to be the best occupational therapist.
Oh, thank you.
How wonderful that is. And I, again, just so grateful, Debora, for you reaching out, asking questions. I love it when I see you pop up on social media, asking questions, making comments. You know, it's so important. This is the dialogue that we want to be able to have, because there's no point doing research if it's in a silo. There's no point doing research unless it can be applied to real people. And at the end of the day, we want our children to be happy. We want them to live the fullest life. And that means the family living their fullest life as well. And I can see that bucket loads in you. And it's not to say there's not going to be all easy. It's going to be hard times too, but we can do this together. And our job is to try to find as many solutions and ways and possibilities.
Exactly. And like the networks, right?
Yeah. It really comes down to
team
it. Yeah.
To this conference.
Yeah.
It makes me have goosebumps. Like,
I love that.
We have to network. That's what I'm doing, and I hope doctors and therapists and teachers and everyone, because we can't do this alone. Like Rafael from yesterday, we have to do this together. Yeah. We are together in this.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for sharing your story. Thank you.
And thank you for inviting me.
Oh, such a pleasure. I hope all of you guys really enjoyed that. That to me is the reason. This is why we do what we do, and it's, you know, it certainly drives me forward to do everything that we can do and translate new research into practice straight away, because it's real lives here and it really does matter.
Exactly.
Yeah. Thank you to everyone. Hope you enjoyed that. Talk to you all again really soon. Bye.